Just re-signed with PFL. We've come to a great agreement, and I'm going to look forward to the next few.
Dakota Ditcheva just sent a chilling message to the entire MMA world. With blood on her elbows, fire in her eyes, and a re-signing announcement that shook the PFL cage. The Queen of Violence just dominated a Bellator veteran in brutal fashion and made it look easy. This wasn't just a win. This was a straight-up masterclass in destruction. Sumiko Inaba came in 8-1. Hawaii's own, a Bellator veteran with a chin and a heart. But Dakota? She came with knees. She came with elbows. She came to disfigure. And for 15 minutes, she picked Inaba apart like a surgeon possessed. I mean, 30-24? That's not a fight score. That's a cry for help. From the opening bell, Ditcheva was in kill mode. Using all 8 limbs like a Muay Thai monster, she dropped elbows so sharp they could have signed the PFL contract themselves. And those knees? They bent time. They broke faces. They had Inaba stumbling, spinning, and bleeding. By round 2, Sumiko wasn't fighting to win, she was fighting to survive. And here's the kicker: Dakota might have broken her hand during the assault. But did she slow down? No. She just switched weapons like a damn boss: legs, knees, left elbows, high kicks. She turned into a one-woman arsenal. Let that sink in. She might have fought 2 rounds with one hand and still delivered a career-altering beating. Then, just when fans thought it was over, boom, Dakota Ditcheva announces her re-signing with PFL. No Bellator, no UFC. She's staying now. Look, people are asking why stay in PFL, and some fans are straight up calling it a waste of talent, but here's what they're missing. Dakota's not running. She's building a legacy where she's the queen, the killer, the poster girl. She's already the face of PFL Europe. Now she's dominating PFL Africa. And next, maybe she crosses into that Kayla Harrison territory, the $1 million legacy lane. Fans are calling her the Valentina of the PFL. But let's be real, at just 26, she might surpass Valentina, Harrison, Cyborg, all of them. UFC fans, be scared. Bellator fighters, stay retired. Because Dakota Ditcheva is undefeated, uninjured, and now unchained with that fresh new contract. Cape Town just witnessed a star go supernova. Sumiko Inaba got broken. The cage got baptized in blood. And Dakota Ditcheva, she just made PFL her kingdom.
Ladies and gentlemen, our co-main event was scheduled for 3 rounds. It went the full distance, and we now go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this bout unanimously. For your winner, Dakota Dangerous Ditcheva.
She just dominated a Bellator veteran, re-signed with the PFL, and sent a message to the entire women's MMA world. Dakota Ditcheva isn't just taking over, she's embarrassing the competition. Let's call it what it is. The UFC let Kayla Harrison walk Amanda Nunes retired, and women's MMA was in freefall until this. Dakota Ditcheva just saved the PFL's women's division and exposed how weak the competition really is.
You know, the damage so far in this fight, it's been one-way traffic.
Oh, nasty knee right the middle from Dakota. And a flurry down to the body. Here's the elbow. Back elbow. And now a left hand. And she's showing off, man.
At PFL Africa in the Grand Arena, Ditcheva put on an absolute clinic against Sumiko Inaba, a veteran, an 8-1 finisher, and Bellator's former Golden Girl. But none of that mattered. From the first bell, this wasn't a fight, it was a technical beatdown. Ditcheva's range management, front kicks to the face, and slicing elbows made Inaba look like an amateur. By round 3, even the crowd knew. This was murder with Muay Thai.
For me, I do believe that the winner of this, regular playoff will become the female face of the PFL. Is that something you're ready to embrace and step on it, and not just be someone who's easily marketable, but you're a champion and you could be the face of this organization?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I want. I want to definitely, I'm not really bothered about being the face of anything, to be honest. I'm going to keep turning up, any opportunities I get to fight, you know, I'm going to show up on the night, which is what I always do. And yeah, continue to be a professional face on the camera and really build myself, and that's it.
Thank you very much.
8 months without a fight, not because she's injured, not because she's slacking, but because nobody wants to step up. Dakota herself admitted it. Finding worthy opponents has been a nightmare. The flyweight division is dead, and Dakota just danced on its grave. And just when the UFC needed a new female superstar, the PFL locked Dakota Ditcheva down with a multi-year, multi-fight deal. This isn't just a contract, this is war. Forget Dana White. The PFL is making moves while the UFC keeps recycling Pena and Holm. With Kayla Harrison gone, Ditcheva is now the PFL's undisputed queen and maybe the most dangerous woman not signed to the UFC.
You know, now that she's come in the UFC and she's actually won the belt and fought her way up, and, you know, Amanda, people respect what Amanda did here. So I agree with you. It felt big. It was a badass stint. It was all organic. None of that was fake. We had no intentions of her going up into the octagon. I actually had to tell the guys to let her up. They weren't even letting her in. So yes.
Listen, I'm going to give Amanda as much time as she needs to prepare. I want her to be the best her. I'm going to be the best me. We're going to go in there and make some absolute magic in the women's division. We're going to break some records and make some history. And we're both going to make a lot of money doing it. And we're going to bring women's MMA to a whole new level.
While Amanda Nunes teases a comeback and Kayla Harrison finally made her UFC debut, Dakota Ditcheva just made everyone question if the PFL actually has the better women's roster right now. And if Dakota ever crosses over to the UFC, she kills most of that top 10. Easy. She's 26, undefeated, re-signed, and she's not slowing down. The Queen of Violence has arrived, and she's here to reign for years to come. But what do you think? Is Dakota Ditcheva already better than Kayla Harrison? Could she destroy UFC's top contenders? And did Dana White just lose the future of women's MMA? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit subscribe for more MMA breakdowns. One hand, one mission, and one broken opponent. Dakota Ditcheva just walked into South Africa's historic MMA night and delivered a brutal beatdown with a broken hand. While other fighters pull out with hangnails, Ditcheva fought through it and left Inaba looking like she didn't belong in the same cage. But that's not even the wildest part. From the first bell, Sumiko Inaba came forward like she was going to make this a war. But Dakota? She clinched her up, ripped knees into her ribs, and made it crystal clear this was a mismatch. Round 2, elbows, flurries, pure savagery. Inaba was stunned, dazed, surviving on instinct. And then, boom! Dakota throws a shot and yells to her corner, "I've broken my hand!" Most fighters panic. Dakota! She shifted strategy, started sniping with her legs, and kept dominating like she was shadowboxing a crash test dummy. Even with one good hand, Ditcheva was showboating, cupping her ears, playing to the crowd. This wasn't just a fight, this was a public humiliation. And the crowd? Electric Ditcheva later said it was the best walkout of her career. South Africa came out for history and got a full-blown highlight reel. Let's talk about the real controversy. This was Dakota Ditcheva's first fight in 8 months. Why? Because no one wanted to fight her. She cleaned out the PFL flyweight division last year with 4 straight stoppages. Now, she's so dominant, the PFL can't even find worthy challengers. Inaba was brought in as a legit threat, 8 wins in 9 fights. But Dakota made her look like she belonged on the prelims. And now, after re-signing with the PFL, Ditcheva's gunning for even bigger names, but who's actually brave enough to step up? Last year, she made history as the first British woman to win an MMA world title. Now, she's 15-0, untouched, and calling the shots. But here's the problem: is she too good for her own good? She's already called out the PFL for failing to get her credible opponents, and honestly, she's right. If this continues, we might see Dakota jump ship to the UFC or Bellator just to find someone who can survive more than 2 rounds. And if that wasn't enough drama, the main event brought one of the craziest finishes you'll ever see. With just 9 seconds left, Spain's Costello Van Steenis snatched the middleweight belt from Johnny Eblen with a rear naked choke from hell. This card didn't just make history, it set a new bar. She's undefeated, unchallenged, untouched. Dakota Ditcheva is 14-0 and hasn't seen a judge once in the PFL, but Sumiko Inaba isn't scared of her resume. In fact, she's ready to walk directly into the fire. Inaba says nobody's ever stood toe-to-toe with Dakota, and that's exactly what she's planning to do. Strike for strike, shot for shot. No fear. On July 19th, PFL's Champion Series lands in Cape Town, their first ever event in Africa. And in the co-main event, the queen of PFL's flyweights returns. Dakota Ditcheva, the 2024 PFL flyweight tournament winner, looks to keep her flawless record alive. But standing across from her is a Hawaiian savage who's built different. Inaba says, "I'm just grateful. A huge platform, a new place. I'm excited and ready to show my skills to the world." Sumiko Inaba didn't come through the PFL system. She fought her way through Bellator. 8 of her 9 fights came there, and now she's stepped onto a bigger stage. She's 8-1, she's 34, and she's more motivated than ever, because this isn't just another fight. This is the fight of her life. Inaba says, "Yes, this is the most important fight in my career. She's great, I respect her, but on July 19th we're going to see respect or not." Inaba says Dakota's never faced someone like her, someone who's not afraid to test the champion on her own terms. Let's get real. No one has stood toe-to-toe with Dakota Ditcheva. Every opponent either got folded or panic wrestled. Inaba says striker for striker, no one's really stood toe-to-toe with her. I'm going to bring my fight.
A staple run in Bellator. Women's flyweight showcase bout, so no points on the line here.
That's the difference. Inaba's not looking for a way around Dakota's dominance. She's going straight through it. No takedowns, no running, just violence. Let's not downplay this. Dakota Ditcheva has finished all 9 of her PFL fights before the final bell. That's not hype, that's cold-blooded execution. Dazen says, "Why accept a fight with someone this dangerous?" Inaba says, "Because this is the highest level. I'll never know my skill unless I test it. And that's why this fight is different. Inaba's not here for a paycheck. She's here to risk everything to find out if she can break the PFL machine." Dakota Ditcheva is the PFL superstar, a global face, a future pound-for-pound queen. But Sumiko Inaba believes the key to beating her is simple. Don't run, don't wrestle, just fight. Inaba says, "I'm going to fight my fight, and I believe that'll be the difference." And that's what makes this co-main event so dangerous. The moment that cage door closes, someone's streak ends, someone's legacy gets rewritten. So who do you believe? Will Inaba shock the world and hand Dakota Ditcheva her first loss? Or will the undefeated killer once again prove she's untouchable? Drop your prediction in the comments and hit subscribe for more raw, unfiltered fight coverage. PFL Cape Town, the first event on African soil, and it might just be the most violent co-main of the year.
When I compare my game to hers, you know, I just see levels above, skill levels above. She's no walkover, but I don't think she's on my level, and I'm going to show that in South Africa.
Dakota Ditcheva is heading to PFL Africa to defend her legacy, her dominance, and her killer instinct. "I don't come to fight, I come to kill." That's not just talk, that's the mindset of a future GOAT. And this time, Sumiko Inaba is in the firing line. 9 PFL fights, 0 decisions. This isn't just a win streak, it's a destruction tour. Dakota Ditcheva has turned the flyweight division into her personal highlight reel. And now, after 8 months on the shelf, she's hungry and she's calling. Round 1 enter Sumiko Inaba, 8-1, powerful striker and former Bellator standout. She's dangerous, she's experienced, and she's exactly what Dakota wants, because when you've run through everyone else, the only fight worth taking is one that pushes your edge. From Manchester top team to American top team, Dakota made a move that changed her life and her fight game. She came to the States to test herself, and she stayed because it made her lethal. She's no longer just a British prospect. She's now training with killers, Johnny Eblen, Kayla Harrison, ATT's elite. This isn't just evolution, this is transformation.
Who do you see? Who do you watch and say, I'm better? I mean, I could have the title if I went there.
Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah, I think I could.
That is confidence.
They say to me, you know, she's running through all these girls because they're not very good. But if you put these girls against other people, they have close